Love y'all Shuffle, and we got some news for Darkest Dungeon 2. What ended up happening, I guess this explains the radio silence, is that Red Hook went to GDC. I forgot it was this month, but that's where they have been. And there's a couple updates for y'all here. The first is the Plague Doctor Plush campaign. They crushed it. So there's going to be a lot of PDs out there, Paracelsus in the world. And they're going to make another. And they want to make another one. And so you get to vote. I've already voted, so you can't see the choices, but the choices are, I think, Jester, Leper, and Grave Robber. You know to vote for Grave Robber, okay? I don't have to tell you, but I'll put the link in the comments. Go there, vote for Grave Robber, right? We got to support our girl, and that's the plush. You know, Leper, everyone likes Leper. He'll win eventually, so don't trip about that. But we got to get Audrey done. You know, this might be the only chance. So that's the plush update. But you're probably here for this. So this is the game update. It was actually a pretty hefty patch. And, well, it looks hefty. The notes are hefty. But as for... You know what? Actually, there are some nice changes. Okay. There's a lot. Let's go through it. It's more than I expected. Yeah, so it's been a while since they put out the last patch. It's been about 6 weeks, maybe 8, I think. And so we have this patch is being focused on, this is going to experimental, by the way. And so they're addressing late game candle usage, big problem. That's been in the game for a while, so they're finally tackling it. Very good. Hero paths are getting converted all to the new system. There's no more like 5 characters looking new, and then everyone else looks old. At least it's consistent. Although stuff like Leper just says chop. So that's... I think Virtuoso says none. So there's really some interesting, funny stuff happening there. But anyway, so it's experimental. If you like it, dislike it, whatever, tell them so they can work on it. Or just, you know, be nice, because I'm sure they get a lot of flack, and saying something nice would also be helpful. Yeah, everyone's gotten from the pre-Vestal paths to the new ones, so that's where it's like, you know, Flag or Crusader, new Grave Robber stuff. It'll say, you know, affected skills, and you don't see a bunch of stats and stuff. You just click, like, you click the path, you click the character, you look at the stat or the skill, and you see all the changes. Late game candle usage. This is something, as I said, has been wanted for a long time to hopefully address the pool of reflection being, you know, 10,000 for some people. And this is pretty much a community-driven thing, so I'm really glad that they addressed it. So, after maxing out the working fields, players now may spend candles to get random pulls in the categories. The cost increases after each pull. And so this is almost like it used to be, where if you played in early access, where there was no Altar of Hope. So you start your run, you go there, and there's just a cache. And it'll just throw like 8 items at you. And some money and stuff. And might have been 12. Anyway. That was a cool system because it kept the randomness at the start. And, you know, roguelites are supposed to be mostly randomized for many things, and what ended up happening is over time we've gone from like a completely random start, like random paths, random quirks, random pets, random items, and the like, to everything's consistent, which in some ways is good. You know, I like being able to pick my path and my pet so I can set up my team the way I want to, and there's always the random team button. But your items were like very, very consistent. You started with this much money, you go there, you buy some stuff out of the shop, and whatever the shop sold, and then you would go on. But candles always just stacked up. They did nothing after a certain point. And so what's going to happen now is all of the unlocks that you do at the working fields, where you throw in some candles and it spits out an item, you know, like a gacha. Now you get to do that for fun, and that's really cool. That is a very cool thing, so I'm really glad they did that. Issue might be, actually no, it's at the start, so you don't pick your team yet, right? So You go to the altar, you won a run, lost a run, whatever, you have like 30 candles, and you roll some items, and then you go to, and I like that it's only after the working fields are upgraded, so it's not like completely locked off. You don't have to play another 100 hours to max everything before you get to do this, so that's fun. And so, yeah, you roll your items, you go to the house, you pick the act you're doing, then you pick your team. Quirk re-rolling after maxing out the Altar of Hope base game track, so the entire altar. Players can spend candles at the crossroads to re-roll quirks on non-memoried heroes. This, I mean, I'm glad the cost keeps going up because this way you don't, just sit there and roll one candle 1,000 times so you get jinxed. So it's really cool that this is happening. New encounter choices after maxing out the altar. Base game tracks the... Oh, so it says base game. This isn't the DLC, so you don't have to max Duelist and Crusader. Players may now spend inventory candles to make new choices at Assistance, Resistance, Cultists, and Creature Dens. This one's cool. Hero goals after maxing out the altar. New hero goals will begin to generate for them, which can be a hero class trinket or signature in item. Most hero goals are reward candles. Now immediately reward inventory candles upon completion. Would it be you have to get to the end? Like the end and then it would give you candles? I can't remember. But this is good, right? Being able to get those class trinkets and signature items, because you can go several runs without seeing them. So that's really cool. Inventory Flame Vitrine, which I didn't know that was a word, but it's a word. After you max out the altar, you gain access to a Flame Accomplishments UI currently located on the Stagecoach screen to see which bosses you defeated with each Infernal Flame. They're really, really leaning into this. So, I know myself and others have been hoping that they went a different direction, like the Hades route where you build your own challenge modifiers. It really looks like they're just going to lock in what they have now. So, for better or worse, I guess we're stuck with it. But this is not retroactive due to technical limitations, of course, right? Like, it just straight up, the game wasn't tracking it before. Updated unchecked power token description to clarify how much burn. Alright. Double tap can temporarily no longer target inanimate objects, such as the books. Okay. That's good. The fix. Alright, so look at the hero balance. I actually have not read any of this. All the paths have been converted. Bleed, Res, Pierce have been moved on to if it bleeds and bleed out, so you can't throw combat items with like bonus bleed chance. Carcass, block removal now reflected on Wicked Hack. So all the stuff got put to the skills. It's not just a long list of stats on the page anymore. But really no Hellion changes besides this bleed bonus. Or this bleed piercing, I should say. Let's see. Mezzo, stress res buff on the description. Soloist no longer gets a flat damage buff. Wit, Fade, Harvest, Slice Off, and Finale. Damage has been increased by about 20%. Let's see. Same with crit bonuses. Bleed piercing. Virtuoso, no skills were affected. So when you look at Virtuoso, since you can't see all the stats, like, the resistance, the plus speed or whatever, I think it just says none. So you're very confused when you look when you look at that thing. Leper. Okay, let's see. Vulnerable damage token is not reflected. Okay, so again, off the description. Okay. I like this. Small leper changes here. Monarch slight buff. So minus, hopefully, the damage debuff on Chop and Chop Plus. The skills have been reduced accordingly. So is it just like it got moved to that instead? Chop now deals a flat +7 damage to cosmic targets. It's also affected by strength tokens, but this is, in a way, this kind of sucks because it was like, oh no, it's better. It's way better. Because what ended up happening, because I haven't played Monarch in a while, but what ended up happening was you'd have the minus 75% damage, and then you get the added 100, but it actually just came out to plus 25% damage on the hit, which, scaled and all that. But I think, by and large, the flat 7 is just going to be better, I think. So that's actually pretty sick. So I guess Monarch got a buff, As long as the damage penalty on Chop and Chop Plus isn't too huge. Opponent increase heal not directly reflected on Solemnity. Damage debuffs have been removed. Chop, Hew, Purge, Bash, deal reduced damage. Intimidate, damage plus. No longer is damage penalized. Okay. And then Tempest just got the damage moved. Let's see. Man-at-Arms. No bonus damage on shield attack skills. It's all been moved to the stuff, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm not seeing... Riposte damage no longer reduced on this path. I think it was okay. I think it was okay to be reduced on... Oh, wait, it was on Bulwark. What about Sergeant? So Crush Rampart, hold line. Yeah. So Retribution... Yeah, Riposte is just good. Like, for all those people saying that, like, you know, Retribution was dead because they gave it a cooldown, took out the block, it's still a great move because you have Taunt. Taunt's dumb, continues to be dumb, and you have a character that can generate block from 1,000 sources. So, you can always have block. Don't worry about that. But now you get all the damage too. So Riposte is... I think Retribution's back. I think Retribution's, in this instance, should be good for pretty much everyone, I hope. Just because, you know, it's more usable. Sergeant, self-removal, weaken Vuln token, now reflect on the skill. I really wish this would take it off the ally, not Man-at-Arms, because I really don't care about him removing weak from himself. Especially on Sergeant, but whatever. Let's see. In the Vanguard, all the damage got moved to the skills and the tooltips. Binding Shadows moves you forward 1. Oh, an Aspirant. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, perfect. This is great. I was gonna say, I really want my Ritualist to sit in the back and throw Binding Shadows, but now it was forward on Aspirant, which is good, because it was a nice thing to have with a Cultist, plus this kind of fixes him if he gets thrown to 4 with, like, Chaotic Offerings, so now he can, like, push forward over and over, so that's nice. Otherwise, it looks like all the damage and the res piercing and stuff like that's been moved. Blanket healing buff has been removed. I think this was only to skills though, so I don't think it affected combat items. I might be wrong. But this is cool. Good. All good. Like some path balance, but you know, we're getting some of it here. Alchemist blanket blight res piercing buff removed. Now it's directly on the skills. Did it get lowered though? That's the question. Looks like it's pretty much all that, so I don't think anything changed on Plague Doctor. It's just all the stuff got moved from, like, the long text to the skills. Same with Arsonist, I believe. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. Let's see, Survivor. Damn, yeah. Ooh. No. Blanket res piercing debuff removed. I thought they just take it off. It's a keystroke. Take it off. But no, instead we still have to deal with this crap. That's fine. Black Phillip got 5 more life. Yikes. Kind of scary. Items. Add a chance for implication matches to drop iron banded wheels and steel plating. That's pretty fun. Let's see. Common item stuff. Shrine map no longer appears while shrine's completed. This took way too long to implement, but whatever. Almanacs added road gear tag. Speed and stress res for the respective regions. Okay, so Almanac got buffed. Chandler Spawn added extra cultist encounters. Good. That makes it, you know, more easy to set up. I don't know if Almanac should be scouting gear or road gear. It's hard to say. Like, both fit. I guess it wouldn't be scouting gear, huh? But we'll see. Rat Skull increased stun resist debuff from tracking shot from 10 to 20. Like, still no one's gonna use that. They're making little tweaks, so I like that they're not just, like, redesigning it every time something happens, so just little tweaks. I still don't think there's enough to make it, like, worthwhile. Profane Scroll reduced turn in while in rank 3 or 4, stress damage from 2 to 1 and chance from 100 to 3. Great, it's less punishing. Fixing Vestal through items, of course. Strong Shackles, rework to apply on hit, immobilize on gain on hit, immobilize. This still might be the worst item in the game for Trinkets, but we'll see. Staggering Striker, if target's immobilized, bonus damage. Okay, pretty sick. I guess this is how we're doing it, because immobilize wasn't like a super strong token just because of how the enemies play. But if you give all these other items bonus damage against immobilized targets, then that gets better. Bash, by the way, right? You can bash with Leper and get some cool stuff going there. This would be pretty good. These are both Sluice Trinkets, I believe. I don't think the Shackles are. It might be. Sneaker Standard, all combat. For all heroes, stealth token, change all allies behind. So like the banners up front, then everyone behind. This is something they were doing with the military trinkets, so this is cool. Same with the Unwavering Standard. Grim Mask rework, gain on crit each ally. If flame over 40, -1 stress, fantastic. Each ally on end turn, if under 40 lights, so 40 torch, 40 hope, plus stress. But if flame is low, you get 40% damage. This is almost more enjoyable than any Infernal Flame rework that we, in terms of just, you know, just like power and feel good and stuff like that. It's not, oh yeah, when the flame gets under 40, I get 2 crit. The monsters get 10 though. You know, that's kind of like what we've been dealing with. So this is fun now. Eager to see how this plays, because it's like a good stress heal if you just play normally, but if you want to go dangerous, then you get the bonus damage, and even though you get 1 stress as a chance, you end the fight faster. So you have less chance to get stress, if that makes sense. Heart-shaped padlock, resolute chance, change to random ally when healed, 1 positive token. Better, honestly, better. Blood smeared calculations, remove 1 damage on turn start and turn end. Fantastic. Change to turn end conversion. Now convert crit and dodge plus and strength to block plus. Okay, crit to, oh, so it's not the normal versions, it's the upgraded version of the token. So crit to dodge plus, strength to block plus. Turn end, bleed 1. Guaranteed? I guess this is more manageable because this way it's not like turn start, I take 1 damage, turn end, I take another damage, and possibly get my character killed. Snappy Swig, nerfed. Massive nerf. The crit token increased from 8 to 10 speed, so you need 10 speed to get that like 50% crit token chance. Seems small, but very, very, very hard for a lot of characters to hit 8 speed without substantial items or Wolf's Blood. Anatomical map, chance to apply negative and positive tokens on enemies or whatever from 90-10 to 95 and 5. Don't know if this is even going to be enough. Like it's still, it's weird. It's like the 90-10 actually wasn't a bad split. It's just the negative tokens on enemy. Apologies, the arm for the mic actually snapped when I moved it. It was just some padding came off. I think the adhesive just went, like, got too messed up or whatever. So the whole thing's not broken. It's fixable. Don't worry about that. Anyway, as I was saying with the map here, it's not so much the percentages, it's that I don't know if they can resist the debuffs. I think they can, but there are a few different debuffs you can throw on an enemy that just don't matter. Like immobilize, you know, blind is pretty good for everything, but sometimes you get weaken, it doesn't apply to the enemy. Hit vuln doesn't apply to the enemy. But all the positive tokens are usually something good. Like you give an enemy dodge, sucks. Give an enemy block, stay alive a lot longer. Give an enemy weaken or strength, again, not super amazing depending on the enemy. Give an enemy crit, usually good for all of them. So it's not so much the percentages with this item, it's just the way tokens work. So it's more of a fundamental mechanic that makes this not good, or not as good. So we'll see how this works. Maybe the percentages will be good enough where it's like, yeah, sometimes they'll get, you know, 1 in 400 chance of a crit token or whatever. Hastening history, change turn in at random ally speed to Ally ahead speed token. Interesting. I like the positioning stuff. These are really cool ideas for trinkets. So it's not just random chance on random person. It's like I set up my party in such a way that this person gets these, this person gets that. I like this. This is a good change. Insulating insignia, same thing. So ally ahead gets gets the block instead of random ally. There's actually kind of a nerf to this though. But I mean, essentially they are nerfs. Like maybe this should be 50%, although that might be too high as well. Wax inoculant, this is the disease resist item. Targets the whole party. And the cost of it went up. That's fine. That's cool. Cake palette, 100% chance to copy positive tokens, along with 5% chance to copy all negative. So you always get the positive, sometimes the negative. Pouch of lie. Added -1 stress for each corpse cleared. Yo, that's massive. That is huge. You can heal 3 stress on the party? Or is it just for the person that threw it? Probably the person that threw it. Shred of Decency now removes all worship. Very nice. Because the way it ended up happening was when it puts, like, because you need 2 worship to throw it on the mini boss. And so the best way to use this would be it would throw the worship onto the mini boss, and then you'd take that off because they had to get 2 to transfer 1. And it was more efficient to get rid of essentially 2 worship instead of 1. Now you can get rid of 2 at any time, so this got much better. Still very niche, right? Only a few fights really demand it, but good. Gamepad. Let's see. D-pad stuff. D-pad now functional for UI screens. Oh, it wasn't before? Interesting. Removal of token sheet quick access on UI screens. Let's see. Reset mastery points, hold to confirm, dungeon pop-ups. Pet now clickable on gamepad. I think what's happening, because, you know, we talked earlier about like Brazil greenlighting the game for consoles, and this is probably adding to that. You know, I do think they're pushing towards it now. Add a map description for specific encounters. So like when you mouse over it, you can see what it is. Interesting. Yeah, okay. Armor and wheel threshold conditions for assist encounter choices to improve appearance when needed. So no longer is it I piss off one teammate by leaving, or I can get 30 flame in one wheel when I have full wheels. Cool. All right. That's it. So if you want to access the beta, you go to your Steam page, and under the cog wheel, you hit that, and then you hit properties, and then on properties it says betas. You pick coming in hot. That's the experimental branch. If you're playing on Epic, then you just pick the experimental version of the game. So that's it. Let me know what you're thinking down below in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you next time.